Aries 16. Brownies dancing in the setting sun. A brownie, a young girl, child, just dancing, just having a good time, just totally excited by just being alive. That's the image. And the sense is that such a person has a deep resonance with the mystical side of life. Not everybody does. And those people that do are not always able or willing to follow that impulse to treat life as a free dance. Just take it all as it comes, all the good bits, all the bad bits, just the music of life that we have to respond to in a way that you would if you were surfing or dancing, or just finding the best response to forces which are otherwise overwhelming. Now this is in direct contrast to, shall we say, the normal way of being, which is to be fearful and guard against that which is not under your control. So most people crystallize their life patterns and rhythms into a set of habits and behaviors which they enact mindlessly. So it's Monday morning, it's time to go to work, I better go to work. And it's a long time since that's been an enthusiastic moment, but you do it anyway. As though enthusiasm was just a rare gift that you experience once in a blue moon, instead of the requisite for happiness. If we experience enthusiasm and express that enthusiasm in our behaviors, then happiness results. If we don't, then slowly entropy sets in. We die off. And this can happen at a very young age. And indeed, we see that the most enthusiastic expression of the life force is in the young. And it's a very rare person indeed who is in their 80s and dances a jig because they're happy with life. It seems to tire us out, life itself. There's no reason it should. There really is no reason why living itself should be a tiring process. The reason it gets to be that way is because boredom and lethargy and tiredness and depression all kind of fit into the same package. Whereas enthusiasm and vitality and excitement and happiness, they're in a different bubble. And you don't really expect to see somebody with both those types of qualities. Somebody is either enthusiastic and happy, or they're lethargic and depressed. You don't get many lethargic enthusiasts, do you? Or happy, depressed people, by definition. So we see here that there is a very distinct correlation between expressing enthusiasm for life and being alive, being happy, being one with it all, and joy all the time. And this is because of the mystery of the type that the fairy kingdom represents, elves and unicorns, and this sort of rather ill-defined, non-rational aspect of being, where you dance in the setting of the sun because the setting of the sun is a poignant moment. Yes, the scientist knows it's inevitable because of a certain rotational behavior of the earth, which is irreversible. Yeah, the sun is going to set every day. That's the scientific point of view, and so on. But it's missing the point. We can understand the science of all the stars in the sky, but if we don't notice that they're stunningly beautiful, and that a sunrise changes our way of being, and that certain foods are absolutely delicious and others are just good for you. And if we don't notice this exciting part of life, we've missed the point. To behave as though your main purpose in life is to survive until you die, there's something wrong with that. Now, if we have a position in life of responsibility where we simply cannot obey all of our instincts and enthusiasms and excitements in the moment, that's understandable. As adults, we tend to move towards responsibilities, and we have a measure of whether or not we can cope with life at a higher level of involvement and engagement. And that examination is well worth the taking, because it trains us to be bigger, actually, in our reach, in our influence. We've got greater strength, and we can have greater influence on people. So that's a part of it all. That's the struggle necessary to get to a higher dimension of influence. But when we are at that level, then surely we should remember the essence, the life force, the exciting enthusiasm which we had when we were children. And if we can bring that to bear in our positions of responsibility, let's take the obvious one. Parents have tremendous responsibility. They raise children. Wow, it's a big deal. And yet to do that without enthusiasm is not appropriate. It's inappropriate to be enthusiastic about your kids and to share their enthusiasms with them, so that enthusiasm is generated and maintained in life. The loss of enthusiasm is a great shame. Theos, God, enthusiasm, being filled, embodied with God. That enthusiasm is what we feel when we're one with everything. We're in alignment with our highest self. We're in the zone. That's what enthusiasm is. We're filled with God. And we have to behave as though we're enthusiastic in order to trigger our enthusiasm sometimes. We have to affirm enthusiasm. And then it comes to us. It's like a prayer. An affirmation is like saying, yeah, this is how I am. Let the force be with me. And then it comes. So it's not a good idea, really, to pretend that you're not enthusiastic. And in fact, it's a better idea to become enthusiastic at choice. And then you'll find that it just clicks in naturally. Now, this way of life tends to bring abundance. We tend to get what we want whenever we're behaving in this way. But we do have to understand this inherent duality within life, that there are times when we have to struggle against a challenge. We have to improve our position, and that takes a bit of grit. Now, we can still be enthusiastic about that. It's just that it's enthusiastic work. We have to concentrate on doing the job properly and getting the job done so that we can celebrate the triumph at the end of a job well done. So struggle we can engage with enthusiastically too. The paradox, though, that really underlines this is that even though we enthusiastically struggle, we must not really be too attached to the outcome of our activities. If we are attached to the outcome, then we've lost the point of being in the moment fully. We don't really make much of a difference in the lives of other people, not generally speaking. One or two people, of course, we involve ourselves with on a interactive basis so that they and we are like symbiotic, and this can apply to a wider group. But generally speaking, what we do is our business, and we don't touch other people. So it doesn't make a difference really what we do, and we have to behave as though it makes a difference to be enthusiastic, knowing that really it doesn't. And that second part is, it gives us a certain freedom. We have to be who we are, and that's the beginning and the end of our life message, really. We have to be who we are. And we have to be that in an excited way. Whatever is the most exciting thing to do next, do what you can towards that. That's a life strategy. In every moment, choose the thing that you can choose that gives you the most excitement. Because excitement is vitality. And vitality is evidence of alignment with the soul, and everything in your beingness ties up in this way so that you can generate a result in the world. But that result doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter. So we have to let go of that. And this is the fool's wisdom in esoteric terms, that the wisdom of the fool is to behave like this. And it's a very high level of wisdom, very high indeed.